What's good, people? It's CJ Williams for Culturalist Theory. For this video, we're taking it to South Atlanta to rank the 6 albums by legendary group Outkast. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see, and subscribe if you love it. Number 6, Idlewild. Idlewild was an ambitious project from Outkast that tripled as a group album, movie soundtrack of the same name, and compilation. The result is a disjointed album featuring a hybrid of hip-hop, swing, blues, and jazz. If you think that's a lot to squeeze into an album, you would be correct. That's not to say that there isn't anything to love on here. The singles, Mighty O and Morris Brown, gave classic Outkast vibes, and Hollywood Divorce features a criminally slept-on Lil Wayne feature. Outside of that, the highlights are few and far between on this disjointed album. Not to mention that Andre and Big Boi only appeared together on 4 of the 25 tracks. And actually, if you add in the 39 tracks from the previous album, Speakerboxxx Love Below, they are only together on 7 of their last 64 tracks, surprising no one that they haven't dropped a group album since. Number 5, Stankonia. Outkast dropped their 4th album October of 2000, and up until that point, they were more known for their laid-back, relaxed records. Well, when the lead single Bombs Over Baghdad dropped, it signified a new direction for the down south duo. Stankonia is polarizing amongst Outkast enthusiasts because of the up-tempo, chaotic production that's sprinkled throughout the lengthy project. They had higher tempo records before, like Rosa Parks, but joints like Gasoline Dreams, Snappin' and Trappin', and Question Mark went a completely different direction. For that reason, you normally see people who either love or hate this album. Regardless of what side of the fence you fall on, registers rung to the sound of 4+ million records sold, thanks to arguably their most recognizable record, Miss Jackson. Andre describes Stankonia as a place where you can open yourself up and be free to express anything. Well, the Grammy-winning experimental album fits that description to a T. Number 4, Speakerboxxx, The Love Below. The highly critically acclaimed double album from Outkast perfectly showcased the differences between members Big Boi and Andre 3000 while still remaining cohesive. By this time, Andre had been experimenting with a more melodic style, while Big Boi was still relatively close to his more hip-hop roots. Major props for 3 Stacks, first off, as his side was an ahead of its time genre blend of pop, funk, and jazz. Records like Hey Ya, Roses, and Love and War were unlike anything a rapper had done previously. As a matter of fact, Andre doesn't actually rap in a traditional sense until the last song. Big Boi, on the other hand, gave us a more standard southern hip-hop album with an added flair. Both albums are great in their own right, which is why the album works so well. Fans responded to the sound of over 10 million records sold, making it one of only 8 hip-hop albums to reach diamond status. Let me know in the comments, which disc did you prefer? Number 3, Southern Playalistic, Cadillac Music. At a time where New York and LA basically ran rap, the debut album from Outkast turned out to be a pivotal one, not just for the group, but for the South period. Having met only 2 years prior to the release of the album, Andre and Big Boi meshed perfectly over live instrumentation carried out by the now legendary production team Organized Noise. Listen to joints like Call of the Wild, Claiming True, and Players Ball Today, and you'll instantly be taken back to the simpler times of the mid-90s. Both critically and commercially successful, the album would sell over 1 million copies, but not everyone was a fan. Outkast won for Best Newcomer at the 1995 Source Awards and were greeted by boos, to which Andre responded with the now infamous "The South Got Something to Say" proclamation. As far as we're concerned, the only knock on the album is that the sound of hip-hop has changed so much since then that sonically it can come off a bit dated in the present day. Other than that, the album is as good as you're gonna get from a pair of 18-year-olds. Number 2, ATaliens. They say you wait your whole life to drop a debut album, which is why many are so great. Then you experience success and the hunger isn't the same, your second album suffers, and you get labeled as a sophomore slump. Well, you can throw all of that out the window when it relates to Outkast's second album, ATaliens. Everything from the lead single Elevators, to B-sides like Wheels of Steel, to even the comic book album cover is damn near flawless. Dre and Big Boi are in top form, spinning over soulful but futuristic production handled again mostly by Organized Noise. If you were impressed by their debut album, then you were blown away after this classic dropped before they could even drink. Number 1, Aquemini. If you polled 1,000 Outkast fans right now and asked them their favorite album from the legendary group, you'd likely get a 50-50 split between ATaliens and our number 1 album, Aquemini. One of the greatest southern rap albums of all time, the title combines the performer's 2 zodiac signs, Aquarius for Big Boi and Gemini for Andre. That wasn't the only thing mashed up, as the album has influence of 70s funk, psychedelic rock, and of course, Southern soul spread throughout. The duo handles most of the heavy lifting as features were kept to a minimum but were effective when used. Big Boi and Andre take turns taking off on records like Return of the G, Slump, and the title track Aquemini, with 3 Stacks slightly edging Big out if we're keeping score. Regardless of which MC you prefer, it's undeniable the album is a classic, and in a race to this list's #1 spot, it beats ATLiens in a photo finish. That's it for today's list. Let me know what you think of the ranking below in the comments. Remember, like this video and subscribe to Culturalist Theory so you never miss a list. Until then, I'm CJ Williams. I'm out.